Hello everybody, I'm here and I'm back. It's still Formula 1 97 Championship Round 10. We are currently across the half point of the season, and we are currently at the Round 10 in Hockenheim. God help me. Practice session in Hockenheim, 13 laps of fuel, with the main objective beating our own personal best time on the track. Let's go. Let's do the 13 laps. Hockenheim is a type of a track that is, in my modest opinion, I already have voiced that, but in my opinion, Hockenheim is basically the second worst track in the game because it's just boring. It's pretty much
boring.
As you guys will see.
Go!
And there goes the first chicane, which you can just totally ignore it.
Weight is king in a Formula 1 car. Every extra kilo you have to carry...
This chicane kinda cannot get ignored. You have to slow down before you're gonna...
as in the aviation industry, is measured in kilos, not litres.
utilize it as a shortcut itself.
To give optimum performance for minimum weight.
Third chicane in front. But that one can be cheesed. Like, almost like this. But yeah, like I said. Turn to the right, chicane. Straight chicane, turn to the right, turn to the left.
C'est une steward.
And that's French commentators telling me how awful I am. And then turn to the right to the finish line. Because of all the straights on this track are so goddamn long, it takes over 1 minute and 30 to finish a single lap. And also this might happen if you're gonna take one of these chicanes bad. Yes, you're basically gonna lose control, and when you lose control, that's it. That's over. You're gonna crash into the barrier, if not even into two barriers. I am honestly, I do not expect to beat my personal record on this track. I do not expect to win this race. I do not expect to qualify high. I am doing this track because I simply want to finish it. And if I'm not gonna finish the race, that's
he's gonna better his time. He's behind at
that's a different conversation, obviously, but still. I just want to finish the race. Honestly, I do not even want to win it. Because of all the straights that you have on this track, there's a major problem. AI drivers are always gonna be faster than me on those straights. Because no matter how much weight, how much downforce you're gonna put on the car, no matter how low the downforce you're gonna be, the cars that you're gonna contend with are always gonna be slower as well. Sorry, they're always gonna be faster than you.
Let's have a look at his practice time so far. He's up after the first split.
Making noodles? Nice.
It's
I actually forgot to buy myself some
These
noodles. God
drivers
damn it.
are
Okay.
controlling a car about half the weight of a Mini, and these things can accelerate
You reminded me about
to
that. Enjoy your
150
noodles.
miles an hour in 6.5
But that reminded me
to
that I
7
need to get
seconds.
myself some noodles as well. While the relatively cold season is still out in Poland.
Let's have a look at his practice time so far. That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Remarkable! That was a new personal best time.
Yay! It actually is not my personal best time, but I genuinely don't care.
107% rule of the past
The
couple
only
of
thing
years
that I'm caring
has seen
about
that
is
the
just to
tail
start
end
the
teams
race
have
and
had to
finish
sharpen
it.
up their act and
Like I
spend
said.
longer making sure they can do competitive time. This means that the gap between the qualifying times from the front to the back of the grid is now much less.
He's already faster than his previous best at the first split.
And I'm currently doing everything to make this entire race, this entire practice, the entire lap shorter. Only the second chicane that I cannot really take fast. That's the only actual chicane that I cannot really like risk it and go 300 kilometers an hour. I actually have to slow before that one.
That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector. Normally, motor racing, driving a car right to its limit, is very much a skill from the head, not from the heart. But out on the track today, we're seeing some really passionate performances. Well, it's dry at the moment here, but I don't like the look of those black clouds gathering over
Oh
here.
yeah, let's also not forget about the
Team
other
will be
things that
watching
can
this lap closely on their
ruin the
monitors.
Hockenheim for
At
me.
split one, he's
Rain
up
during the
on his
race. Rain will totally ruin this race for me. Like absolutely 100%. Because like I said, the straights, on the straights the AI is always faster than me, no matter if it's a rain or not. And during the rain I will be unable to take the shortcuts. Because I will always have a wheel spin from the back. And if the rain is gonna happen during the race, well, the race is gonna be lost. And there's gonna be not really a lot that I will be able to do about that. It might even, I'm gonna say this, if it's really going to rain, it might be...
He's down at the second split.
It might be one of the few races that I will be unable to win for actually legitimate reason. And that legitimate reason would be my car basically not being fast enough, no matter how much I would adjust it. Then again, we have to consider a fact that I'm driving the entire championship on one car setting. The only setting that is changing constantly is the amount of fuel that I am taking for the race, qualifying and practice.
At split one, he's is up on his best.
Okay, that was like suddenly oversteering on that corner. Jesus Christ. Don't know what to think about that.
He's down at the first split. I don't think he's going to better his time. He's behind at split 2. Fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. It's a good first split time.
I'm gonna be honest, this track would be so much better if we could just cut. I mean, in the future they actually cut one of the long straights and turn it into a spiral of corners.
Gear. Down into second.
But I think the entire overhaul of the truck should happen like even before the year 1997. Okay, I screwed up on this lap, doesn't matter. Yeah, we might have a rain during the practice session.
That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best.
Which is not very desirable, to say the least.
One of the problems the drivers have to contend with is visibility. Their visors get very dirty out on the track. Every 5 laps or so, they'll need to give it a wipe to keep it clear with the back of their glove.
Yeah, that was me going to the grass because I overestimated my turning angle.
They can peel off one of the clear tear-off strips that cover the visor.
I went too sharp, and instead of sticking with the curb, I instead sticked to the grass.
He's down at the first split. That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector.
To think that in a game you can survive the crash that I had at the beginning of the practice session, in real life at that speed I would be dead.
Let's have a look at his practice time so far. He's up after the first split.
Yeah, I was up on the first split. Now that's kind of lost, because I have slowed down to 246 kilometers an hour. And there was not really a lot that I could do about that. This track is very good for the beginners. Like, I remember actually learning how to drive on this specific track.
That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector.
But the more I learned about driving in the PlayStation 1 video games, the more I realized that this track is just... ugh. It's just you. There's not really much to say about it. It's a long straight, it's pretty empty. You can see the forest, you can hear the engine dying in agony. You can see the chicanes, that most of them can be basically...
One thing we might see this year is drivers having problems with cramps.
kind of
All the
cheesed.
teams have followed Williams' lead from last year and positioned their drivers lower in the car, reclined further back with their feet raised up more.
And that's it. That's pretty much the entire track. I sadly have not much to say about it. It's a good track to check your top speed, but it's not a good track to race.
I don't think he's going to better his time. He's behind at split 2.
The only thing that's going to describe how good you are is the engine that you are currently having. And not even that, because according to the game and the rules that are being placed in the game, the AI drivers are always going to be faster on a straight than the player. Like, no matter how much downforce you're going to put into the car, you're always going to be slower on the straight. Which is kind of lame. Because I don't understand why the V8s of, for example, Minardi or Tyrrell Ford, they're going to reach the same speeds as I do.
I'm looking
And even
at his
higher.
previous times now, and it's a good first split time.
Don't really understand the logic behind that.
Down into second, third, fourth gear, fifth gear, up into sixth.
Okay, I'm just waiting for an announcement that I'm on low fuel now, so I can skip to the qualifying session. Well, go to the pits and then go for a qualifying session and restart the weather.
I'm looking at his previous times now. He's up after the second split. It looks as though the rain is beginning to ease off a bit.
And there we
Fuel's
go.
getting low. Get ready to come in.
Third, fourth, fifth.
And also, the person who have thought, hey, let's put a chicane inside of a
He
pit
will almost
lane.
certainly use this stop to replace his front wing.
Absolute
They
freaking
can't
devil.
afford to make a
How
single
evil do you
mistake
have
in
to
the
be
pits.
to do that? Okay, let's end the practice session, go to the car setup, so we can start the qualifying session. Like, you really need to be evil to put a chicane on a freaking pit stop. Ugh. Well, at least we got the best time of 1:32.6. And now we're gonna go for qualify. So qualifying session is pretty much the same 13 laps. The only difference is that we're gonna pit in every 4 laps just so we can compare times of basically our versus other drivers. So let's simply go for it.
Go!
Alright, let's try our best. First lap is a warm-up lap, but this track is just simply allows you to speed up so much that even first lap can mean that you're gonna get the best lap overall. Kinda like in Silverstone during the practice session. Kinda.
New safety rules for the design of the cars this year have meant that the teams have had to include a deformable structure behind the gearbox to protect the driver in the event of rear impact. Ferrari did this last year, and they've already overcome most of the problems, like excessive vibration, which can crack the rear wing. The sky's beginning to darken, and if I look up from the commentary box, I can see quite a few clouds overhead now.
I swear to God, if we are going to get
kilo you have to carry loses you
rain
about 2
during
minutes of a
qualifying
second per
session, on
lap.
one side I'm gonna be
Fuel,
happy
as in the
about that.
aviation industry,
On the other
is
side,
measured in kilos,
no.
not liters, and is precisely calculated to give optimum performance for minimum weight.
On the side, no, because when the rain gonna fall down during qualifying session, that means the qualifying session is over. Because we are not gonna be even remotely able to get a better lap time.
That first split time is actually faster than the current fastest qualifying lap.
Okay, who's driving in front of me? I'm doing 312 kilometers an hour. That's one of the Benettons. Look at that. Look how fast they are. This is my worst nightmare. Lack of corners. Bye. And that's actually Frentzen. Haynes Harold.
He's up up on the leader at intermediate 2.
Having him in front kind of made me also slow down a little bit. Now drag, do your own thing. Accelerate me on the straight.
Unbelievable! I think we'll see him in pole position for tomorrow's race.
Yeah, we'll see about that, because I know for a fact that Franson is gonna be faster. Like, the only thing that makes me faster on this track is the fact that I'm actually cutting through the chicanes. And that's probably the only thing that makes me faster, which is also pretty sad come to think about it.
Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That's the fastest time over the first sector we've seen today.
But then again, I am not a big fan of this track, so I'm just
who don't get a time
gonna cheddar.
less than 107% of the fastest qualifying time can appeal to the stewards. But it's very unlikely that they'll be successful.
Murray Walker usually calls me Williams #1, but I'm gonna call myself Cheddar #1 because of how much cheese I'm using.
Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best.
X for doubt.
Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That has surely put him on pole.
Well, 1 minute 32, almost 1 minute 33, gonna go into the pits on this lap. What if I would actually hug the corner over here?
This looks like a slower lap. He's down at split 1.
That kind of worked for my benefit, once you think about it. Yeah, that was kind of expected. There we go. Didn't got stuck on the grass, so we are perfectly fine.
Let me just check how that time compares. He's down at the second split.
In a busy qualifying session, a Grand Prix driver has to be really on the limit. He brakes at the last moment, turns in very fast, cannot afford any mistakes whatsoever.
4th, up into 5th, up into 6th.
I'm supposed to go to the pits. God damn it. Yeah, this track is so boring, it's mind-numbing. I'm gonna go to the pits on this lap. I totally forgot. It slipped my mind. It absolutely slipped my mind.
He's already behind at the first split.
And I don't really think I'm gonna get a better lap because, well, we got a reason from above. We might get a rain. I can only hope that it's not gonna rain during the race. Because this track is already gonna be as difficult for me as it can be. Sure, you also have Hungaroring, which is probably the second most difficult track to drive in. Or maybe even the most difficult track. But this one is more difficult for me mentally. Because when I see that now is happening, my brain is basically going and imagining things.
Up on the leader at intermediate 2.
Well, maybe I should basically say it because now I remember the word, daydreaming. That's basically what is happening. Fuck you, chicane. Okay, let me drink some tea and let's make a comparison. Well, I'm 5 seconds faster. And not that it really gonna matter during the race. As like I said, every car is gonna be much faster on the straight. So, sure, I can cheese through the corners, but it is not gonna be very beneficial either way. Because they might actually regain all the loss. Okay, on 5:51 minutes and 10 seconds I'm gonna go out. And now I'm going to the pits on a lap 8. Because I messed up. Kind of. And I hope that this time I'm not gonna daydream. Actually, if there's one thing that I can check, let's try to beat this track normally.
Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. This looks like a slower lap.
I'm gonna try to beat this track normally. What kind of time I'm gonna achieve? With a regular ass driving. Like slowing down, taking the corners. I want to see the difference. If I would even qualify in the top 3.
This'll be a new hazard. The track's difficult enough in the dry, but wet on slick tires is the hardest situation of all. I'm looking at the qualifying lap times now.
Well, okay, I cannot do it on this lap. Because I totally forgot that the new lap has started counting the moment I have went into the pit. So I'm gonna try to do a perfectly legitimate lap on lap 7.
He's already behind at the first split.
The lap times are beginning to get slower now as the drivers have to pick their way more carefully through this damp circuit.
Yeah, for example, this chicane, I can just slight slow down and I can perfectly fit in.
That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector. Third, fourth gear. Up into fifth, up into sixth.
Yeah, beating this track legitimately would probably not place me into the top 6 even. Because it's 1:38 and the best time currently belongs to, I think, Gerhard Berger, John Alesi, one of the Benettons.
Waiting for you when you think it's wet enough out there.
Yeah,
This
we are.
looks like a slower lap. He's down
We are
on
gonna
the
go
split
to the
right.
pits, and we are gonna stop the qualifying session at this point
A new tire
because
ruling
I
for
can see
1997
that the weather is gonna
the
get
teams
worse,
have to
worse, and
decide in
worse.
advance which compound to use for
We've
both
reached time of
qualifying and the
1:32. I'm
race.
happy with
And
that.
having done so, they're limited to a maximum of 28 tires. Down into second.
And the only thing I'm gonna hope for is the fact that there's not gonna be an actual rain. Oh yeah. Don't stall, don't stall. There we go. I'm gonna let you pass, because I'm definitely slower. Oh, never mind. He's just actually doing whatever he wants.
That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector.
But yeah. Okay, my tires have lost the grip. We are going to the pits and then we're going to end the qualifying session. And
He's just hit Frenson.
It's looking a bit slippery out there. Do you want to come in for wet tyres?
I'm gonna go for the end.
That damage he has to the nose will mean a new front wing.
Because we already have 1 minute and 32, which pretty much means that we're probably gonna be first anyway. So I'm gonna end the qualifying session and return to the car setup because we need to pick a different load of fuel for this race. So it's Hockenheim. And I can already see from the spreadsheet, Hockenheim has 45 laps. Which means I'm taking 23 laps of fuel on every pit stop. I'm going for one pit stop strategy as always. Yep, but Michael Schumacher was just almost 2 seconds behind me. That's how close he was. And during the race, he's probably gonna be even faster. I mean, we'll see. I'm not expecting miracles from this race, like I said. 45, so it's 23 laps of fuel, and let's simply go for it. Hopefully I will manage to finish this race on the first try.
Welcome to the German Grand Prix, due to start in just a few moments here at Hockenheim.
Oh boy.
The problems the teams face with this track is just how to set the car up. It's got long straights where the cars can top 200 miles an hour, and that calls for a low downforce wing setup for minimum drag. But it also has very tight first gear chicanes, and they call for a high downforce setup to give them the grip they need. Last year, Gerhard Berger narrowly missed out on a win when he had an engine problem. So, I'm sure he'll be going all out for revenge this year.
Define revenge. I don't even remember who have won in Hockenheim.
The drivers are
I do remember Gerhard Berger giving Giancarlo Fisichella a ride.
Watch for the lights going out. We're off at Hockenheim, Germany. Straight down to
And
the
I already
turn
lost the
one they
position.
come. He's blown it. He's thrown away first place.
Yep, they
He's
have
lost second place.
They have a fuel load that's gonna do that to me. Not even any amount of drag is, realistically speaking, going to help me with this one. Jeez Lord.
Yes! Now he's in first place.
Oh my god, he's cheating. He's cutting the road. He's cheating. Like I said, I hate this track. I don't care about it. There are much better races that are not as long. Hey Marculi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yep, this is Hockenheim. This is Hockenheim. A second bane of my existence. I'm doing well, glad to hear that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost lost control over here.
One thing we might see this year is drivers having problems.
And there goes John Lacey.
All the teams have followed Williams' lead from last year and positioned their drivers lower in the car, reclined further back with their feet raised up more. He's lost the lead. What a disaster.
I didn't lose anything. I want to know what you're talking about.
He's taken the lead.
I never lost it. What are you talking about, Mr.
Let's see
Walker?
how they stand now. The race leader, Williams, number 1. In second position, Jean Alesi. In third position, Mika Hakkinen. In fourth position, Michael Schumacher. In fifth place, Ralf Schumacher. Sixth, Heinz Harald Frentzen.
I'm being honest, like, me taking shortcuts and just cutting the track, it's at least adds some kind of excitement to this race.
We're into the third lap of the race.
Lap third of 45. We're going to the pit stop in 21 laps. And that, of course, assuming that the car is not gonna heavily malfunction. The only chicane that I will technically never use that cheese is the second one over here. Because of how it's constructed. There's not really opportunity to take the first corner sharp because of how much speed I have generated, and there's just no way that to really snap into that corner. So I need to slow down. And take it semi-legitimately. The last chicane should not even exist. The last chicane is just, meh, just go through it. Whatever.
Well, it's dry at the moment
Oh,
here.
no.
I don't like the look of those black clouds gathering overhead.
And now my worst nightmare is actually turning into reality. It might actually rain. Yippee. That means I am not gonna be able to cheese the chicanes. I'm gonna have to take them legitimately, which is gonna slow me down, and AI is always gonna have a moment to catch me on the and AI is always gonna have a chance to catch me on the straights. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna say this much: if I'm not gonna win the race, that's perfectly fine. Like I stated in the rules. Well, maybe not state the rules. As I say multiple times myself, the goal is to finish every race. If I'm gonna win most of them, great. If I'm gonna win all of them, thank God. As long as I'm gonna finish every single track and not get any serious... Oh no! That's one of the Zaubers. That's one of the Zaubers, the serious malfunction over there, which also slowed me down. I mean, he's very close to the pit lane. I hope he is actually gonna go to the pit lane.
The top positions are: first, Williams number 1. Second, Jean Alesi. In third position, Michael Schumacher. In fourth, Gerhard Berger. In fifth position, Ralf Schumacher. In sixth place, Mika Häkkinen.
I also have already noticed that Michael Schumacher, at the very start of the race, he was already being like, yes, I'm gonna speed. The AI was already set up, haha, speed mode activated. Thankfully that is not a problem anymore. I'm only crossing my fingers on both on the single hand, because one of them I need for holding the acceleration button. Only crossing my fingers on one of the hands so that rain will not appear, because rain will make this race impossible. There was definitely some kind of collision somewhere on the track. Somebody have slipped. Which, quite frankly, when you're driving over 300 kilometers an hour, the last thing that you want to do is slip, lose control, and probably land into the barrier. I think that would be the biggest fear of all the drivers on this track in real life. Just lose control while speeding. Okay, needed to slow down over here. Needs to let off the acceleration, because if I would keep on going, my car would definitely lose control. The rear would start doing its own thing, and I would crash into the barrier. And I do not really want that. The first chicane that we are encountering on this track, it can be cheesed, but it definitely sometimes doesn't want to be cheesed. You can lose control like I almost did just now. In comparison to this chicane, which you can just get in.
I'm looking at the race order.
Oh,
now.
rain.
First, Williams number 1. Second, Jean Alesi. In third place, Gerhard Berger. Fourth,
The rain is going to
Michael
happen,
Schumacher.
guys. Because I can already see it, so
Ralf Schumacher.
it seems like
In sixth position,
race
Mika Häkkinen.
we've already, when laps are crossing 1 minute and 30, it's gonna be even slower now. By, let's add additional 20 seconds. So one single lap is gonna be over 2 minutes long. Are we? Are you ready, kids? I'm not. I'm mentally unprepared for this. Then again, cross fingers, maybe we're gonna get sun. The weather can change at any moment. And it's not gonna rain.
I may be speaking too soon, but it looks to me as if the rain isn't as hard as it was.
It's not even raining, Mr. Walker. It's not even raining.
This young man had a fantastic first season last year, giving his teammate Damon Hill a real run for his money in the championship battle. This year, all eyes will be on the French-Canadian as he continues his Formula One campaign.
That's me. Only I'm not French or Canadian. I'm pretty much Polish, yes. At least that's what my ID says.
The weather's getting overcast now. Let's hope it doesn't get any worse.
Yes, let it get better, and by better I mean sunny. I want to see racing lines. I want to be able to go through chicanes with over 250 kilometers an hour. Well, through most of them. I want to end this race, and then I want to move to Hungary so I can beat probably the most difficult race that can be beaten in this game, besides Suzuka, because Suzuka is a pretty difficult track. Well, almost perfect.
Race order. In first place,
Oh yeah,
Williams,
there's
number 1. In second, Jean Alesi. Third, Gerhard Berger. In fourth, Michael Schumacher. In fifth position, Ralf Schumacher.
if there's a one thing that
Six.
goes,
Mika Häkkinen.
I totally forgot that he reads from 1 to 6 a lot of times. The one thing that is good about this track, I have enough time to scratch my face if I'm gonna get an itch.
Rain is continuing to fall here, but unless I'm very much mistaken, the sky's beginning to brighten slightly.
I don't think I'm even going to react to that, man. Because there's no rain. I mean, I can see that.
We're now about a quarter of the way through the race.
There's no raindrops falling. Unless I'm driving faster than rain, which I sincerely doubt. And we got our first lapped contendant in front. Yeah, getting rid of the lapped people, that's also gonna be another problem. Totally forgot that they exist. And who's the last? One of the minorities with the V8 engine. Neom. Yep, that's definitely a minority when they're trying to attack me from behind and damage my rear wing, making my possible future pit stop an absolute nightmare. Okay, the racing line have came back. That means the weather is actually slowly correcting itself. Then again, like I said, we have a very variable weather setting. That means that the weather can change back to
meaning that conditions are
evil,
cooler out on the track.
to basically weather can change to Ohio at any point of time. Yes.
It does look as if the weather may be changing for the worse if those clouds are anything to go by.
I think Hockenheim tries to play Interlagos on us, but fine. Yep. Racing line have appeared only for a single lap and that's it. Lap 12. 45 divided by 4, it's 11, 12. Yeah, the cars are definitely have went to the pits already. Because driver AI always goes to the pits every quarter of the race. They always use the 3 pit stop strategy, while I'll use only 1, because I'm such a Chad.
In 4th place, David Coulthard. 5th, Jean Alesi. In 6th position, Giancarlo Fisichella.
One of the problems the drivers have to contend with is visibility. Their visors get very dirty out on the track. Every 5 laps or so they'll need to give it a wipe to keep it clear with the back of their glove or their sleeve. Of course, when it gets really difficult to see,
some people will definitely ask
off one of the clear
why I'm pressing triangle from time to time. It's because of this. In first-person view, your helmet is getting dirty after a while. You're gonna see some spots. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna show you guys in a bit. Right now, you guys could have seen that the helmet is clean. But after a lap or 2, this helmet is gonna become incredibly dirty. And with the triangle button, you can basically clear out the helmet, clear up the visor. It's called tear-offs. I'm not using the first-person perspective to drive because it basically makes the entire track pretty much invisible. But I'm doing it because every single time from time to time I imagine this, the smudge on the helmet, and I just cannot leave it alone. I need to clean out the helmet even for my own sake. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna rain. It's raining actually right now as we speak. What that means is that AI is gonna turn into the panic mode, and they're gonna go to the pits right now. For the next 2 laps, they're gonna change their tires from slicks to wets. I don't really have to do it yet. I have to wait for bigger splashes of water under my tires so I can actually go to the pits.
Well, I can see spots of rain on the monitors now. Let's hope it doesn't turn into a downpour.
But that also makes the entire race much more difficult for me. Because I'm gonna have to drive slower on the chicanes than, you know, overtaking very fast. And on the straights, every AI car is faster than me, pretty much. Then somebody would ask a question: hey, if your car, if every car is faster than you on a straight, how did you manage to catch the previous cars? Well, let me answer you this, my friend. Basically, every car had to brake before the corner. They had to take every single corner, every single chicane, every single turn. They have to slow down a tiny bit. They're even going to have to slow down even more during the rainy weather. But during the rain, even I'm going to have to take all those corners legitimately, with much more care. As we can see over here, this AI driver had to slow down before the first chicane, which definitely reduced his maximum speed by at least 50 kilometers an hour.
The lap times are beginning to get slower now as the drivers have to pick their way more carefully through this damp circuit.
But yeah, this is what it is. Like I said, if I'm not gonna win this race, but I'm gonna finish it, it's not a big loss. I am perfectly fine with that. I'm absolutely perfectly fine with losing this race. No season can be perfect, to say the least.
Race order.
I wish there was a thing like that.
Gerhard Berger, Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard.
At least we got 1/3 of the race behind us, so I guess that's good. Look at Berger just already ahead of us, and he's still gaining speed.
We've got wet tyres waiting for you when you think it's wet enough out there.
We don't have to go to the pits yet, but I'm afraid of the worst.
Point to notice that both Williams and Jordan, two of the great innovators in car design, have opted for an oval air intake above the driver's head. It'll be interesting to see what difference this makes.
I currently see a little bit splashes under the tires. That means that the rain is getting stronger and stronger. I may lose the grip. I don't have to lose the grip, but it's still not early enough for me to go to the pits. I can still move on. I still have enough grip under my tires so I can do whatever I want. Well, almost. Because this can happen.
This year, all the teams have lowered the driving seat.
A wee bit of a
combat
slip.
the turbulence caused by the driver's helmet, which reduces the efficiency of the air intake into the engine. Another benefit they hope to see will be better handling of the car due to the lower centre of gravity.
It's looking a bit slippery out there.
Okay.
Do you want to come in for wet tyres?
Yeah, on this lap we are going to change the tires, which means at this point we need to take every corner legitimately, because our current slicks have definitely lost at least 50% of a grip over the track, so we cannot really
safety rules for the design
risk it for the biscuit.
have meant that the teams have had to include a deformable structure behind the gearbox to protect the driver in the event of rear impact. Ferrari did this last year, and they've already overcome most of the problems, like
You need to
excessive
drive a
vibration,
little bit wider.
which can crack the rear wing.
I can definitely see that my car is definitely struggling with getting that 5th and 6th gear Possibly gonna have to let that McLaren go through. Because I am just not fast enough, man. I'm just not fast enough. And I just cannot wait to go to the pit so I can regain some of the lost speed. My car is currently struggling to drive through this very, very rough condition. Like, I can barely get 210 kilometers an hour.
It's looking a bit slippery out there. Do you want to come in for wet tyres?
It's a testimony to the drivers that they managed to stay on the track at all, let alone lap at the speed they are doing.
Okay, the pits are over there. Fuck your chicane on the pits. Whoever can build that chicane on the pits is a devil.
And he crosses the white line into the pit.
He's an
Down to
actual
75
devil.
miles per hour.
The team's been practicing
Change the
this
tires to
over
wets.
and over again
And
until
let's
it's
go.
perfect.
We
Not a
are
bad
6
start.
laps before we're gonna go to the pits for refueling. And it's time for the rainy shit. Oh boy, we might actually lose the first place, and this is the evidence. You know, rain, no rain, the car is
He's
faster,
hit the
and he
car.
just pushed me into the grass. And the kind of just straight up pushed me into the grass, damaged my rear wing. What a champ. What an absolute class act from Shinji Nakano from Prost. Holy moly.
As I look at the stands, all I can see is a massive umbrella.
What a
with the
class.
rain coming down as it is. Race order.
He
Williams,
overtake
number
me
one.
throughout the entire
Gerhard
track. He decided to
Berger.
just ram into
Michael
me.
Schumacher.
Good
David
job.
Coulthard.
That's definitely gonna help him. Well, it's probably gonna boost his ego more than anything else, but... Yep, now we have to brake on every single corner. There is no exception. Right now we're driving normally, even more than normally, because we have to slow down so we don't get our back to slip on us like this and lose control. Faster? I cannot go any faster, video game. I'm not a magician. So people could call me Cheese Lord. Is this another chicane? Yeah, that's the last chicane on the track. The grid is at least 1 minute behind me. which is not bad, but if it's gonna rain throughout the entire race, they're gonna catch on to me and they're gonna overtake me. In 4 laps, I'm gonna go to the pits. I know that in front of me there's the Shinji Mikano, and I wish I could just drove into his back and just ruin his day as well, but I'm not that petty. Though in my mind, as I'm driving through the very long straights, I have a moment when I actually imagine that. It's a good picture. That's very passive aggressive now, isn't it?
Race order: Williams number 1, Gerhard Berger, Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard.
Now because of this rain, this race is even longer by at least 20 seconds. Because rainy weather always I mean most of the time when it comes to driving in rainy weather or the track, it's at least plus 20 seconds. On every track, no matter what, because you have to change the way you drive. And there goes Shinji Nakano. And we are very close to him. Ah, crap. I see shit. There we go. Press the triangle, helmet clean. And my OCD is satisfied. Though probably some of your eardrums are not. Mine are not either. Trust me. This is why I'm driving in this perspective instead of driving from the driver's perspective. Because as much as noisy this engine is, I have respect for other people's eardrums, unlike the guy that's gonna say, you're low on fuel, you have damaged this, you have damaged that. He's gonna scream into your ear with a $3 Walmart microphone until you're gonna bleed. And that's Shinji Nakano rolling on the street.
Car design with the high side pods on the car and the large
his rear have slipped.
It should reduce the amount of debris
right before the corner
into the radiator grills during the normal course of a race. This sort of
and that opened an opportunity for me to overtake him.
In the radiator's efficiency.
Half of this Grand Prix is behind the drivers now, half still to go.
Oh boy. Half of the GP is done. Boy, am I glad. And that's who? Minardi versus Jordan, and Jordan is definitely taking that spot. Well, I am crawling. I'm crawling in my skin, and these wounds they will not heal. Why do I still remember the Linkin Park songs? Oh wait, I was teenager once. Right. That will explain a little bit. Yes.
You don't understand me. That is not a phase.
Well, to an extent, it was not a phase. Yes. Whoa. Okay, that Minardi have sounded like slightly banged to the left. And I was like, hold on, what are you trying to do? That scares me. That's not good. I need to overtake him. Alright, on the next lap we are going to the pits. We're gonna refuel for another 23 laps, and we're gonna replace the rear wing as well as we're gonna replace the tires with something fresh. See ya. I'll just do this against you because you are a mean nardy. You were gonna get lapped anyway by other drivers, so what is the deal? I was so afraid of losing in Hockenheim during the rain. It actually doesn't really go that bad. If we gotta maintain the same careful, patient style of driving, we will definitely keep our first place. That still doesn't change the fact that the track is fucking boring. Yes. That is my opinion. There's just way too much open straight, not enough corners. It's just not enough fun. At least I can scratch my beard whenever I have an itch, so I guess that's a good thing. And Michael Schumacher right now is on the second place.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher, Gerhard Berger, Jean Alesi.
Alright, going to the pits right now. Yep.
Get ready to come in.
Oh look, chicane on the pit stop. It would be a shame if somebody ignored it.
He's crossed the white line now. That means you have to slow down to 75 miles per hour in the pit lane, which he does by hitting a button that activates the rev limiter.
He'll be very aware that races can be won or lost in the pit lane.
10 seconds,
It's
just
a
enough time to
slow
drink some
stop.
tea. And now we are driving till the end of the race. We are not refueling anymore. And let's hope that we at least gonna finish the race. Because I don't really want to repeat that race. I do not really want to repeat this race at all. Any other race? Fine. This one? So how are you guys doing?
There are yellow warning flags out round this section.
As a driver, you are really thankful for the yellow flag, as it gives you those vital seconds warning of approaching hazards.
The
Yellow
race
flag
is
on Hockenheim.
underway
Well,
again.
that's
The
a new.
green flags are out.
That's a new thing. I wonder where the accident have happened. I doubt it was anywhere behind me, but then again, I don't really know. I don't even know who fell a victim of the accident. The game is not really willing to display who's a victim of an accident or anything like that. Oh boy, somebody in front, and that's one of the Prosts. Barely dodged that one. I'm glad that I managed to dodge him. 20... Yeah, around 21 laps more to go. Because you have to count also the 45th lap as a full lap. Or basically make it a better sentence and say that it basically counts full laps, not just entering or crossing the finish line on that specific number. That even didn't make any sense. I guess you guys understand. I'm trying to create a sentence. And sentence English difficult, rough, bad, and stuff. Yes. Even though I have studied the language for over 15 years and I'm using it for almost twice as long. Hold up, 10, 25. Oh no, not even like another 15. That would be... I'm using English language for hold up, 15, 23 years. Give or take, and I still sometimes just cannot construct a single sentence that would make sense because I'm forgetting words. Either way, words are evil. On the plus side, the most of the track is actually relatively quiet.
Michael Schumacher, Jean Alesi, David Coulthard.
So we can definitely hear music in the back, and Michael Schumacher and the Ferrari is 35 seconds behind us, which does not bring a smile on my face. Let me tell you this much, I'm not smiling. Because if he's gonna overtake me, that's gonna be fair, that's gonna be legitimate, and that's fine. But I would love to actually win another race. Oh, what's that? Yeah, that's the Prost, and he's definitely dilly-dallying on the side of the road over there. Why he did not went into the pits already, I have no freaking idea.
I've said it so many times before, Martin, but I'll say it again. Catching is one thing, passing is quite another.
And that's a Minardi. Am I gonna be able to overtake him? Not really, even though he should let me go through because he's definitely slower. And now he's faster because this game cheats. Oi, 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 oi. Don't try to freaking push me into the glass. Glass. Yes, push me into that freaking fine china. Don't push me into the grass. That's what I was trying to say. And Schumacher is definitely closing in. He's currently 31 seconds behind me. as I'm kind of slugging through the track. I probably should just push through that long and not brake. But then again, I was afraid that that my rear is gonna slip. So I think in the end I have made a good decision, even though it's gonna slow me down even more. Bye. Bye, have a good time. Now, knowing live, Schumacher is not gonna have so many problems with that guy, because he's Schumacher, and he's gonna turn on the cheat AI.exe or something.
When you're driving a Formula One car, you cannot be tense. You're strapped in. You feel every movement. You're part of the car, and if you're tense with the car, it slides that little bit more. You must relax and let the car do the work.
I have no other choice but to be a little bit tense, because if I'm gonna press the accelerator too hard, I'm gonna slip. If I'm gonna press it too low, the car is just gonna oversteer way too much. Driving in rain on this track with the
Race
very
order.
long corners
Williams
is
number
a
one.
real struggle.
Michael Schumacher, Jean Alesi, David Coulthard.
Yeah, Schumacher is really closing on to me. With every lap, like, he's actually gaining like 2 seconds. If there would be something that could rescue me, is if he would go to the pits, because I don't need to go to the pits anytime soon. He does. We still have one more pit to go. So, at any time after lap 30, he's gonna have to go to the pits.
We're at about the 2/3 mark now in terms of race distance.
Yeah, that is true. 16 laps left. Oh god, and every lap counts almost 2 minutes. A test of endurance, that one. I probably shouldn't even look behind because I might get terrified at a certain point. The moment I'm gonna start seeing red behind me, it's gonna be one of the more terrifying sights, if I could be honest. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to see any reds. I actually would just want to drive. Plus 39 seconds. I am going to assume that Michael Schumacher have already went into the pits, or he slipped. And if he went to the pits, that kinda puts us on the equal amount of fuel. It's actually going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to overtake me for the last 15 laps, which started just now. I guess it depends on how much of a lead I manage to create for myself. McLaren in front. Going slightly faster right now. He's 40 seconds behind me. And by he, I mean Michael Schumacher, currently my biggest fear of this race. If I'm not gonna make stupid mistakes, we might even finish this race on the first place.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher. Jean Alesi. David Coulthard. He's just hit Mika Hakkinen.
Not intentionally, but, well, it happened.
They're off again. Green flags out round the circuit.
Did not really want to smash into him whatsoever, but, yeah, accidents can happen. I can see that my rear wing is slightly tapped. I was really hoping that Hakkinen would just slow down as he's supposed to, but he decided to just barge in forward. I guess he overestimated. Well, the AI have overestimated the distance between us two, and that's another Minardi. Or it's another time when I tried to run past Minardi.
Weight is king in a Formula 1 car. Every extra kilo you have to carry loses you about 200ths of a second per lap.
Oi.
Fuel load,
Oi.
in the aviation
Okay, I need to let him
industry,
through
is measured in kilos,
because
not
he's definitely
liters.
charging and
It's
he's
precisely
not
calculated
being
for
smart.
optimum performance for minimum weight.
He's definitely not being smart. He's not letting me through. He's blocking my path. He makes me lap slower just because of that. And that makes me a little bit worried. Because I do not want Michael Schumacher to catch me.
It's incredible. These drivers are controlling a car about half the weight of a Mini, and these things can accelerate to about 150 miles an hour in 6.5 to 7 seconds.
Yay, now he figured out that he can let me through. Good job. Could do that on like, I don't
Drivers have
know,
only a quarter of the race
on a
left
previous
now.
lap or something. But no. Oh, actually, Shinji Nakano is 6th. Yeah, bounced into the Hakkinen. Hakkinen was 6th before. That means that the pros that have metal malfunction was Olivier Panis. Well, that's definitely a shame. Olivier Panis during 97 championship was definitely a clear talent. And that's one of the Benettons with the engine malfunction. Okay, how far Michael Schumacher is behind me? I would like to take a look at the grid positioning right now. "39 seconds. Okay, that is relatively acceptable, I think. There's also a possibility of weather changing from rain to sun. And that is also could be my opportunity to gain a little bit more of a distance between me and the other driver. And Nakano have moved to the 5th place. But could that mean that Schumacher went to the pits much earlier than everybody else? Or was he not even in the pits to begin with?
Number 1. Michael Schumacher. Jean Alesi.
I mean, obviously he is still second. Hey, Drangos. It's a conspiracy! Oh, yeah, kinda, yeah. It might be. Unless these guys... Okay, whatever is happening, I'm still leading, and that's what makes me happy. "11 laps left. Nah, Schrödinger Schumacher would be if he would be in the pits and outside of the pits at the same time. But if he would be in neither of this, he would be dead. Ooh, doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right when we talk about this, honestly. Because of what happened to Michael Schumacher and what his health condition is currently. And honestly, God knows how long it's gonna take for Michael Schumacher to get some form of recovery. Either way, the Formula One and the motorsports have definitely lost. Well, I mean, sure, he's not dead, but Formula One is definitely lesser without seeing Michael Schumacher on a track. Not even racing. Just having that knowledge that he would be on the track, seeing us, watching us.
They have to concentrate on two things: trying to pass the car in front and trying to keep the car behind at bay.
I bet that if that accident would not happen to him at this point, he would be probably maybe having his own team, or he would guide his own son, or he would be at Ferrari and maybe be a team manager or something. Or he would simply retire and he would enjoy the years that he has in peace, you know, or something else. It is really, really sad what happened to him. Really, really sad. Alright, we got 10 laps left on the track. And so far the distance between me and Schumacher is actually growing. Don't know what to think about that. Because he was 20 seconds, now he was 14, now he's 42. I mean, if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, but I'm not gonna lie, having that a little bit of that excitement, having a little bit of that fear that he's actually going to catch me, it was pretty intriguing. But that also means with this amount of distance between me and him, he pretty much must have went to the pits and refueled for the last time. Somewhere, somehow. I don't know when, but he did it.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher, Jean Alesi, David Coulthard.
Nakano have actually moved to the 5th place, which gives them currently 2 points in the championship. That's going to increase the Prost's leadership over McLaren. Then again, hold up, no, McLaren is actually higher because we got David Coulthard, and that's going to give him 3 points. Hey, Crunch. Unable to give the shoutouts right now, considering I am I kind of have both hands. Maybe if I had a third hand, that would be possible. Even then, I would probably be distracted with typing at the same time and driving. Multitasking is a skill that I will never be able to master. Seven laps to go. That's actually 8. Yeah, it's actually 8. we have technically lapped almost every single driver on the track besides whoever is in the third place and Michael Schumacher, but we are not going to be able to lap Michael Schumacher. Because he's driving way too fast in the rain. Way too fast. I think on, the third was John Lacey. Don't really remember.
Of course, as the laps go on, these little potential opportunities that are not really on become greater and greater in their minds. Sooner or later, someone's going to think, I can do it, have a lunge, and the chances are they won't be able to, and end up tangling with the car in front or even going into the barrier.
With the 107% rule of the past couple of years, we're seeing that the tail-end teams have had to sharpen up their act and spend longer making sure they can do competitive times. This means that the gap between the qualifying times from the front to the back of the grid is now much less.
And Schumacher started gaining again. Well, we got 7 laps to go, so who knows, maybe he will manage. Time can only tell.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher. Jean Alesi. Shinji Nakano.
Six laps to go. And Nakano have moved to the 4th position. I'm impressed. Nakano is gonna gain 3 points for the Prost. And I have no idea where David Coulthard is. I know that Irvine and Fisichella have managed to crawl back onto the grid. I don't know where Frentzen is. Have anybody seen Heinz-Harald Frentzen anywhere? Is he beyond top 6 at this point, or did he not even finish the race? Yep, Alessi is 3rd, Nakano 4th, Irvine 5th, and Fisichella on the 6th position. That means Jordan's are gonna get a point. But that also means that David Coulthard have went down below the top 6. Which is kind of disappointing. McLarens are they just cannot get a single point. I mean, they have a single point, but they just cannot get more points throughout this entire championship.
Normally, motor racing, driving a car right to its limit, is very much a skill from the head, not from the heart. But out on the track today, we're seeing some really passionate performances.
Front wings on these cars have had to be changed.
4 more
in
laps
recent
to
years.
go.
They now have a thicker, rounded end plate, so they can stand a much lesser chance of puncturing a tyre if they hit it.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher, John Alesi, Shinji Nakano.
In front of me, I think from the glimpse that I managed to catch, that could be either Stuart Ford or Tyrrell Ford. Not 100% sure. And I just realized that while I was ending the Silverstone, I did not give the credits for the music. I'm gonna do it here during this race, but I totally have forgotten to do that on the previous one, which I feel guilty about that. Because I hate being forgetful like this. I really do.
Only 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go, ladies and gents. And we might... Oh, whoa. What the hell was that? And we might actually win Hockenheim on the first try. Lost a little bit of the control over the car here. Give me a freaking heart attack. But that's what you get for not being careful during the rainy weather. Schumacher is definitely gonna take that opportunity to gain as much time as possible. But I don't really think I need to be scared or worry about this. Well, okay, now that I see he actually gained over almost 10 seconds. So I need to be ultra careful for the final 2 laps.
only 2 laps left in which to decide the race.
Second to last lap. Hakkinen actually returned to the race and he's now in the 6th place. That means something happened to Coulthard. If the Hakkinen had managed to repair his car and return to the grid with single point, that's actually a good sign.
Only 1 more lap to go.
This is it, ladies and gents, the very last lap of the German Grand Prix.
Race order. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher, Jean Alesi, Shinji Nakano.
And that's a Minardi. Now I wonder if that Minardi is gonna block my path, or is he gonna actually play cool? Is he gonna play nice? Questions, questions, questions. Inquiries, even. Oh, he's actually busting the entire... He's currently torturing his little V8. Honestly, I'm not gonna be stupid. I'm just gonna drive behind him and get to the finish line. Unless... yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. Michael Schumacher is 27 seconds behind me. 26, so, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the German Grand Prix...
Get ready to come in.
Hardy Cooper. The German Grand Prix is won on the very first attempt. And I'm very happy about that. The first attempt of the German Grand Prix not only have went, but also have won. Whew. I mean, I'm glad about that. Because we technically don't have to drive through this track again. Race was actually pretty spicy. I was really hoping that Michael Schumacher could actually catch me during the rain, but that did not really happen. Anyway, I have won with 1 hour and 22 minutes and 16 seconds. Michael Schumacher was behind me in the end. He was plus half of a minute. Jean Alesi was 1 minute and 14. Shinji Nakano on the third with 1 point, with 1 lap. Eddie Irvine with 1 lap in the 6th place. Mika Hakkinen with also 1 lap. That means that I'm currently having 100 points in the qualifications. Michael Schumacher is 56, Jean Alesi 26, Gerhard Berger 23, Eddie Irvine with 19, and Frenton with 12. which now gives us a situation of Williams having 112 points, Ferrari 75, Benetton 49, Prost 12, Jordan 9, and McLaren 2, which also ends up this round, and it's gonna the next round is gonna be Hungaroring in Hungary. Who would have thought that? And it's gonna be one of the most difficult races to do. I don't know why is the game not capturing right. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna save this onto the game save 3. And yeah, for people on Twitch, we are still gonna have a little bit of a conversation. For people on YouTube, before I'm gonna forget, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna credit the music creator Carl Casey at Whitebat Studio on YouTube and whitebataudio.com. That's his webpage. Links for everything, for any kind of links for music or anything like that, is gonna be found down below in the description. Like I said, for people on Twitch, we're still gonna have a little bit of a talk. For people on YouTube, thank you guys very much for watching. It's appreciated. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the round 11 Hungaroring.